Day 4 of our Alaskan cruise was Sitka, another beautiful city. The day was a bit rainy, so some of our photos aren't too great, so take them with a pinch of salt. Our short time was from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., so we had 7.5 hours in the port, and man, were we busy. We chose a shore excursion that highlighted Sitka's wildlife. The tour had about 50 passengers on a 2-level boat. The lower level was fully enclosed and the upper one was only partially covered. For me, the top level was best for the wildlife spotting. We were fortunate to spot 3 or 4 whales playing in the water. As you can see, we were able to catch some snapshots of their tails or fluke and a flipper in the seaweed. A trick we learned when spotting whales was to check for floating seaweed, as that could be a place for them to feed. We were super happy with our whale sightings. We also saw sea otters in several places, and the best sightings were those when they were swimming playfully in the seaweed. Here you can see some sea lions hanging out on a buoy. They are just so content to bask in the sun, and eagles are everywhere. We saw them perched atop trees and even had a rare sighting of a pair of them together. When we finished the water part of our tour, we took a bus to the Fortress of the Bears, a bear sanctuary that provides protection and care to orphan bears in a safe and educational setting. We saw the most well-fed black bears, as you can see this one in the photo. We also learned a cute saying about what you do if you meet a bear. If it's black, fight back. We then met Jake and Toby, 2 very large brown bears resting in the water. For brown bears, the saying goes, if it's brown, lie down. The brown bear will think you're dead and simply leave the scene. We were then introduced to Nuka and Nikiski and got to see Nikiski standing tall so that the trainer would toss her a nice steak as a treat. The final leg of our tour was visiting the Alaska Raptor Center, which rehabilitates eagles and other flying birds to release them back to their natural habitat. If the birds are so severely injured that they cannot survive in the wild, then they're kept in the sanctuary permanently. Isn't the eagle that we got a snapshot here simply spectacular? We met Sophie, a trainer in spirit, who's a permanent resident of the center. The live presentation to see this majestic eagle up close was amazing. This was a really fun excursion and we learned a lot during the day.
Says I have to show you guys my wingspan. Alright everybody, welcome into the Alaska Raptor Center. My name is Sophie, but more importantly, and the one that you really care about, this is Spirit. Spirit is a female bald eagle and a permanent raptor in residence here at the center. So you guys just came in from the Bald Eagle Flight Training Center, where you were able to see some of our birds in active rehabilitation that will hopefully be released from their stay here at the center. Now with all rehab work, there are unfortunately some birds that come into us where their injuries are just a little bit too severe for them to be released back out into the wild, and Spirit here is one of those examples.
We were then dropped off at Sitka City Center and embarked on a short walking tour of the downtown area. Our first stop was about 2 blocks away at St. Michael's Cathedral, which is the city's Russian Orthodox church. Inside there is a beautiful central wooden altar surrounded by golden filigree portraits. Simply stunning to see. On each side of the altar are Russian cultural pendants and artifacts. The stay at the cathedral is about 10 minutes or so for you to be able to enjoy all of its beauty. We then walked to the government center, which houses the city's hallmark totem pole, and across the bay you can see a beautiful white lighthouse. Lastly, we strolled up to Castle Hill, which is the site of the first American flag raising, when the Russians transferred control of Alaska to America for a mere $7.2 million in 1867. At this point, it had begun to rain, which it does a little bit each day in Alaska, so we hopped on a bus to take us back to the cruise ship. A busy and fun day in Sitka. I hope you enjoyed our stay, and this will give you some ideas on what you can do in Sitka if you're going to be visiting soon. Thanks for watching.